Hello everyone, my name is Dominic Chamflonin, and this is the first of many video podcasts in the Ontario Knights Express. I'm here with two very special guests this week. To my immediate right is the Ontario State Deputy of the Knights of Columbus, David Peters, and to his immediate right is Joe Matthews, who is the Membership Director also with the Ontario State Council. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
So today we're going to go through just a series of questions to advise and promote the Knights and who we are and what we do, and more importantly is how potential members out there viewing this podcast, a series of podcasts, can join. So I'll turn to you, David, and first off, who are the Knights of Columbus? And many people hear about us, but who are the Knights of Columbus?
The Knights of Columbus are Catholic men building a bridge back to faith, to our Catholic faith, to bring back our youth and do all the charitable works that are necessary in today's world, to participate in the many things that we do within a parish, within a community, for our youth, for our elders, for our widows, our orphans. And having been started by a priest in 1882 by Father Michael J. McGivney, we follow his vision, to build the domestic church.
Right, and I think it's very important for others to hear the fact that the Knights of Columbus exist to help those that are less fortunate, those that are vulnerable, to helping our priests and supporting other ministries within our parishes. And really to help out those that just need a helping hand.
Exactly. And the Knights of Columbus, they've spread throughout the world. You can find them all over the world now. They're in the Philippines.
15 or 16
Mexico,
countries.
Canada, the U.S. So there are almost 2 million members in the Knights.
It ironically makes me think of a story a few years ago when I was in Orlando, Florida, and the Supreme Convention was going, and I ended up meeting the state deputy there from Colorado at the time. So we're everywhere, and it's nice to know that the fraternity exists and that the charitable works exist everywhere.
And the nice thing too is, as you had mentioned, you go anywhere in the world and you can go to any council and meet a brother knight. When I was in the Philippines, I went to a meeting in the Philippines to see what they're doing, and they were quite appreciative.
And you're welcome.
You're very welcome. Just your travel card is all we need.
That's right.
Card.
That's right.
To participate in any chapter wherever we are in the world as well. So.
And you learn what they're doing too in the different countries.
Sure. So we've thrown some terminology out there about councils and about working with our priests. So where can you find the Knights? Is it just in big cities in Ontario? We spoke internationally, but is it just in big centers, or where can you find the Knights of Columbus, and where do we exist?
The Knights are everywhere. In the province of Ontario, we have over 550 active councils.
Very impressive.
We try to build a parish, a council in each parish. That's the vision of our founder, and we are hoping to have one day probably a chapter in every single parish as well.
Wonderful.
We are in small little towns, be it as far as up in Thunder Bay, Kenora, you name down in Welland, somewhere close to Niagara Falls, or somewhere up in Ottawa, which places we have never heard of as well. But there are sometimes when I'm asked a question where a council exists, and I truthfully, honestly don't know because I haven't traveled across.
There's so many.
But
and we're also in multiple languages as well, right? I mean, in Ontario, we do have French,
Spanish,
Polish.
Ukrainian as well. We have quite
Chinese.
Yes, we have quite a number of diverse. It's not just restricted to the English-speaking community. This is open to all Knights of all cultural backgrounds.
Exactly.
I mean, what binds us together is our faith, ultimately, in the end, and the willingness to do good works.
And the nice thing is you go to councils and you have the different ethnic backgrounds in the councils. So, you'll have the Filipino community, and you'll have the Italians, and you'll have the Irish, and, we're pretty well a world organization, just say, right here in our own backyard.
And with that, I mean, it gives us great ideas to be able to run some various events. And if we want to do a dinner in honor of a saint in that particular country, that's a great opportunity for us to do good work together, come together as a community and as a parish, and ultimately support our pastors, which is why we exist.
What I really look forward to is when we have our potluck dinners and you have meals from every different
From
country
everywhere around the world. How comforting to know is that?
That's good to taste all those.
That's very good.
Sure.
And there's never a shortage of food at our events, that's for
there's
sure.
never a
That's for
shortage.
sure. So, David, I'll turn to you on this question here. Is what do the Knights do? I know we have a number of programs. We do lots of stuff, but what is this stuff? How do we define this?
The main programs that we concentrate on right now is the faith in action pillars that we have. The 4 pillars that we come under with faith, family, community, and life. Okay, so under each pillar of our order, we have so many different programs that we participate in. For example, with faith, we do the Rosary programs, the spiritual reflections, the Advent season. We have so many things happening as well. We have retreats, we have holy hours, sacramental gifts. Okay, that comes under the faith. Okay, coming down to community, we do coats for kids. Okay, we go to children who are in need for coats. Children who cannot go out in winter from school because they don't have something to protect themselves from the cold. So we give out coats for kids. We do wheelchairs. Wheelchair Foundation. We support so many different third world countries, I should say. The last one that we have sent out a whole container load this year was to Costa Rica and to Panama as well. We are concentrating on sending another container to Vietnam, and also we have been asked for Bangladesh as well. So that's one of the major programs that we do as well.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, we also do so many things with what they call the ultrasound machines for the pregnancy centers,
right?
And those are the 2 different pillars.
We're working one in Ottawa with regards to the ultrasound.
We have donated one out to as well. We're working on getting one out to a doctor in Burlington and another one down in Oshawa as well. So these are things that we do to save lives, save it.
And this is very notable because, again, keep in mind that we are a provincially based organization, but also very rooted in our communities as well. And from a provincial perspective, you as a state deputy, David, it's important for you to be able to have the macro view on understanding that there would be councils, perhaps say in Burlington, which may not be impacted by the same economic circumstances that say somewhere else in Ontario that might have been devastated by an economic crisis, or as we are seeing now through COVID. So different pockets within the province can be impacted differently.
In a different way.
And the fact that we can come together with some of these programs where we can help each other out and to help others, even abroad, is something to be commended on and something to be very proud of. And for those of you that might be considering joining the Knights, it's these programs, it's these grassroots programs that gladdens the heart. And one in particular that I can speak to is in my council, we ran a program where we could raise funds to help support our seminarians. And I know you spoke about this in the RSVP program, where we raise funds for our seminarians and we help pay for their education. And so many of those seminarians are forever grateful when they do become priests. The first thing that they say is when they become ordained or when they come and they speak or they've been asked to speak is, "Thank you to the Knights of Columbus for supporting me." So it's really empowering, and it's really something to be proud of when we run these programs.
Let's not leave on No Neighbor Behind program
No
this
Neighbor
year
Behind,
in pandemic
yes.
times. Okay, the various councils across our province, be it from London right up to Ottawa, right up to Windsor, they've collected millions of tons of food. Right, I believe.
Food banks.
Yeah, the one in London, they had this huge truck go out and collect food over the weekend. Okay, where we are supplying the food to those who are less fortunate, those in need, those who are starving, those who are dying without food in many ways. Right. We have also supported the St. Vincent de Paul financially. Okay.
Gift cards and yes.
No, we made a donation
Meals.
of about 25,000 to the various chapters of the Vincent de Paul as well.
Wonderful.
Okay, another 50,000 was donated by our Supreme Office, which I should say, thanks to our Supreme Office for supporting the food banks. 50,000 was given to the province of Ontario, and I do believe there will be more coming, as in when we make the request as well. The other communities here each little parish, they collect their own food to serve their own community.
500 pounds, 1,000 pounds of food is not uncommon. 5,000 pounds in a matter of a couple of weeks is not uncommon to distribute.
We have the Knights Table in Brampton.
Nice table.
We have the Franciscan Table as well.
And that was formed by one of our brother Knights.
Knights.
And he stepped forward and said there's a need. And they went together, the councils in Brampton, they formed the Knights Table.
Wonderful.
And it's the only one in Peel Region.
And it's a 24/7, if I
24/7.
believe. Yes, serving the poor and the hungry, for $1 a meal.
We often forget how fortunate we are, and then you realize in your backyard that so many people go hungry in our communities these days, and the Knights step in to be able to help our food banks and to leave no neighbor behind by
Exactly.
picking up the phone and checking in with perhaps someone who is maybe physically disabled, or even who's lonely, maybe who has
Somebody who's depressed,
who's
widows,
widowed and widowers, and this is what we do. We come together,
We
to,
come
to
together.
help each other out.
Like when we had the floods last year and the year before, the Knights were there helping, pack sandbags and in Ottawa and other areas.
disaster relief.
The
Yes,
disaster
we
relief
had
program.
floods.
So lots on the go, of course, throughout the province here. Joe, I'll direct this next question to you. What are some of the benefits, and David, please step in at any time, but what are some of the benefits of membership with the Knights of Columbus?
Well, in addition to doing a number of great deeds and with volunteering and donating millions of dollars to worthwhile causes, we have communication. We have the Columbia Magazine that's issued every month that keeps us in touch to exactly what the Knights are doing, and
That's on a global basis.
that's a
right?
global
So-
basis. But it also helps, in sharing ideas. So if you've got a good idea, you can put that in the Columbia Magazine.
Right.
Others can see it, and we can also learn from what they're doing. We also have the fraternal benefits. So there's financial packages that are available for the membership. We have field agents that will come out to your house and actually talk to you about this.
Benefits for orphans, widows as well.
Like one good thing I
Families.
found about, like for example, with RSPs and RIFs, normally if you have a financial planner, you have to go to their office. Well, for us, they come to your house.
Right.
So that's a nice benefit to have.
And these are unique. I mean, power in numbers, right? This is unique to the Knights because, after all, Father McGivney, when he founded the Knights, this is what he wanted. He wanted not only spiritual strength among members, but he wanted also financial strength among members as well, so that they could be protected in the event,
Exactly.
in the event of financial loss.
Like we look after each other.
Right.
That's the whole idea.
We have the daily Mass of Remembrance in New
Mhm.
Haven and St. Mary's, where we remember our deceased, people who are in need of prayer. Okay, we have leadership development. We have so many other things that are there for the Knights that we don't really consider, or we don't really think of. We come together when there's a necessity, when there's a need. Okay, the Knights are always there. Okay, be it in the community, be it you're asked by a parish priest or one of the community members, the parishioners, the Knights and their families. Yes.
For those who are vulnerable, and I remember for myself, I had a very personal experience as to why I joined the Knights. A very close friend of mine passed away, and I remember the words that you only live once, and that when you realize in your life that you're always taking from society, from others, you find a
It's time to give
calling.
back.
You find a calling that, and unfortunately, it took the death of a close friend who turned that switch on in my brain, in my heart, in my soul, and in my faith that said, it's time to give back to others. And what better way than to join the Knights? Family members of mine have been Knights for many, many years, and they were always very proud of the work that they've done in the community and such. So also, I think for those of us that have children who are maybe going into university, college, post-secondary education, there's also the opportunity for tuition.
Yeah, scholarships and
for
bursaries.
scholarships and bursaries, so to help cover some tuition costs as well.
So that's very attractive for the younger families, where they have, as you mentioned, university and college students.
Where perhaps maybe for many years we were so concerned as parents where we are raising our children, and all of a sudden our children are going to university. Well, what better way to help your membership than, or to have your membership work for you than to put some of these things forward into action and to give back in that way.
And the thing too is the widow benefits. When the the time comes when we join our Maker, the ladies are not left behind. Like we take care of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And protecting, again, and consistent with what Father McGivney wanted in the first place.
Exactly.
That was the vision. That's why it started.
I'll put this message out. This is sort of like out on the floor because everyone has a story. But David, you first. Personally, what does it mean to you to be a knight? Now, you're obviously you're the state deputy of Ontario, but what does it mean to you? And I know you've always been very grounded. We've known each other for a long time, but you've always been very grounded. What does it mean to you to be a knight?
To be a better Catholic, to be a better father, to be a better husband. It has given me the opportunity to give back to the church, to the community at large, to bring the families in today's day and age where our children, we hardly see them, they don't want to go to church. With my children over the years, there's been nothing else but the Knights of Columbus activities, so all they know is the church. Whereas, some of the other children, if they're not a part of the Knights, they could be elsewhere, they could be out in a bar or a pub, elsewhere where, things that we could be scared of or worried about.
Yeah.
And
it guides them in the right direction.
It gives them a situation when you're a knight, you're so involved with the parish, with the church and all that you do, you get your whole family involved. The children, all they know is the Knights of Columbus as well. So I'd say it's a better quality of life, a calling in its own way. When I remember Bishop Samad had stated, you don't need to be a priest or a bishop to have a vocation. To do what we do in the Knights of Columbus is a vocation in its own way, and it's a calling for us to be there as well. And I've enjoyed every moment of it thoroughly.
God bless. Thank you. Joe, what do you think? What
Well,
does it mean to you to be a knight?
Well, I've been in the Knights for about 27 years, and I've loved every day that I've been in the Knights. I've done well, and I wanted to, give back to the community and give back a little bit. And I found that being a member of the Knights of Columbus, I've done things I never thought I would do. If I wasn't a knight, I wouldn't have done things. And
Agreed.
And I say, that's a plus, and it's very enjoyable. And it also brought me into, I guess, my true love is working with Special Olympics. If it wasn't for the Knights, I probably wouldn't have got involved in the Special Olympics as I have.
You wouldn't have never discovered that.
Not to the level I am right now
Yes.
involved. In 1997, we had the World Games, and the Knights approached us. Actually, Special Olympics approached the Knights, and the Knights approached the volunteers to see if we could do something to help with those games, because Knights of Columbus have been involved with Special Olympics from day one. So it's been a 50-year partnership there.
Wonderful.
And so they brought the games to Toronto, the Winter Games, and they asked me to get involved, and I did, and I ended up being the commissioner of site services. So I was kind of on the games organizing committee. And from there, it just grew and grew, and now, I've been involved as a chairman for Special Olympics for Ontario, and I never regret any day that I've worked with the Special Olympians, and I got to thank the Knights for that.
And they just had the games at Kingston and Waterloo as well. So,
yes, we have. And,
links were sent to us.
and we have the flag relay that goes across the province to
That we
raise.
signed. I remember signing that.
We signed the flag, so it goes around.
Counting that.
So it
counting
raises
the number of times
funds.
it did that.
It raises funds and public awareness for both organizations, right?
Sure.
So that's
Strong partnership.
strong partnership, very much so.
For me personally, I've had countless opportunities in where I've just been so proud of being a knight, and there have been many ones. I'll save one story for later, but one in particular that has been really rewarding for me is working recently in the move to taking our business virtually and creating videos like this, and have the opportunity and to work with David, who has the vision to promote the best interests of our order in Ontario. And that is exciting. And these are skills that we have. And after all, about working together with other brother knights across the province is to bring those skills to someone. Might be great in administration. Someone might be really great at cooking or flipping the burgers on the picnics for the parish picnic. Some might be great at art or whatever the case may be. We embrace everyone's skills. And that to me has been the biggest eye-opening experience for me. It has reconnected me with my faith. So nothing has been more profound than this experience.
And just as you mentioned, those little projects that you do, helping around the church and doing things, I learned how to, carpentry, and I learned plumbing.
Yeah.
And it's all because of the Knights, because we got together and we helped at the church, and the plumbers taught us, how to plumb, deal with plumbing, and
Paint the walls.
how to paint the walls, and how to put up drywall. And I thought, and I use those
It's
things
that easy.
at home.
Yeah. Or at the rectory, you're putting up a light fixture for father or whatever. I mean, those calls always come. In fact, I remember when our parish priest had just moved in, and we moved him from, he had spent some time at the Vatican and had worked there, and then had moved back to our area, and then as a parish priest, and we moved him. We moved all of his belongings, and we helped him move in. We didn't unpack his boxes for him, but we moved the boxes in, and then of course a number of other parish priests in the local area, they joined in as well. So it was really exciting to see and to be part of that, just to help someone.
To help somebody.
Nothing is more rewarding than getting a little thank you,
Absolutely.
a little smile on somebody's
Exactly.
face
And
for the good deeds you do.
And you just mentioned if something needs to be done, a Brother Knight's always there to help you.
Yep. Absolutely.
Which is nice to know.
Right, renovations and decluttering or whatever else, everything is there.
Mm-hmm.
The motto I believe in is, we are our brother's keepers.
Yes,
that's
right.
something,
That's it.
yeah, that is something that can I put a better name to it as to what we do? We are our brother's keepers. So.
Well, like they say, is more hands make for lighter work. So, not to be cliche at all, but that is really true.
That's it.
So, open question to both of you. How can someone who is watching this, observing this, how can someone become a member of the Knights of Columbus?
Oh, very, very simple. To join the Knights today.
By the way, it hasn't been any easier.
Oh, it hasn't been
No,
any
it hasn't been
easier.
easier as
We
that.
have a promotion, but the many different ways is you can join online. You can go online, go to kofc.org, kofc.org, and go to the join section, fill in your details. Okay, since we are the province of Ontario, don't forget to put in the province of Ontario. Only then we get the benefit in our own province. And fill in your details. Today we have a promotion till roughly the 5th of August in view of our founder being beatified. Okay, so it's going to happen on 31st of October. So Supreme has given us a special promotional offer. So if anybody joins, it's for free till the 5th of August. So anybody joins, you need to put in the promotional code of MC Givning.
It gives you 2020.
McGivney 2020. McGivney 2020,
right.
and apply, and it takes it out. There's no credit card that needs to be put up. You join for free.
Mm-hmm.
When that person eventually joins a council, the council gets the benefit of getting a prorated amount from Supreme based on $30 per year per annum. So it's a win-win. It's an opportunity for a council to raise funds as well. That's
But even at that, even if the members had to pay an entry fee for this,
well worth it.
it's so
Yeah.
small. After all, where does this go? It goes to the benefit of your council
Yeah.
to do good in the community.
And
support
where would
these
anybody
programs.
get an opportunity for $30 to join an organization? Okay, where you get so many benefits. The other way to join is very simple. You can meet any of the Knights of Columbus members in a parish and express your desire to join. You need to fill in a form, which we call the Form 100, the moment you fill it in, or you can go online and fill it in as well. Ask our membership director to give a little more explanation of that as well. Okay, so
Well, basically the process there is, as we mentioned earlier, there's pretty well a council in every parish in Ontario. So, and in that case, you will probably find a member of the Knights of Columbus. And if you don't know, just ask the pastor or ask the secretary. They'll be aware of who the Knights are, and they can put you in contact with them. And then the member will be your sponsor, and he'll give you highlights of exactly what we do within the council and in the order. And then, as Brother David had mentioned, you fill up the Form 100, and then that application is submitted. And then after that, you take the degrees. There's a new degree out, the Charity, Unity, Fraternity degree, which are the principles of our order. We have 4 principles.
Let's speak just a little bit about that, because things have changed in that regard.
Yes.
And so what's the purpose of the degrees? They are, in effect, it's an introduction of who we are and what we do.
Exactly.
and it's to exemplify our principles.
From a spiritual perspective, correct?
Exactly. So part of the degree is dealing with charity, which is one of our main principles. then unity as a fraternity, as a fellowship,
Coming together
coming
and helping
together.
each other out.
And then
Fraternity.
we have fraternity, which is what we are. We are a Catholic fraternity.
Organization.
And then there was a fourth degree, which is another level, which is patriotism. So those are the four
The
principles
love of
our
country and faith.
love of country and faith.
Yes.
So, but with the Forum on 100, you would join the third degree, which is charity, unity, and fraternity.
And that is now open to families. It's now open. We invite everyone to join and witness
Yeah,
this.
Witness this.
And it's a beautiful ceremony, and it's time efficient.
I would consider you could probably term it as a family degree because everybody gets to witness it. They're all a part of it, which is a nice
To see what we do or what we are,
exactly.
so who we are.
So it's a little different than what in the past, or what maybe someone has heard in the past of what we've done. Now we're more open.
So realistically, how could a member say, if I were interested to join today and I wanted to go the E option because I like going online and I like informing myself, and I sign up, how quickly would I get a phone call from someone or a response from someone?
The moment you sign up online, okay, you go to kofc.org and you sign up. Once you have done, within 24 to 48 hours, you would receive a call from the local parish that you've indicated that you belong
Or the council,
to,
if you indicate.
or the council. They will give you a call and try to see if you would come out to participate in their exemplification, or to participate in a fraternal benefits evening to see what's available to you and your family.
Another option is to watch this virtually, correct? I think
Yes.
the Knights of Columbus have really evolved into the 22nd century, if you will.
I guess what has happened and what I guess has sped it up a bit is because of the situation we're with COVID-19, that we've gone virtual in a number of areas, and one of the areas has been with our degrees. So you actually can see a virtual degree, third degree. So if you were joined online and you wanted to become a member of the council and the council has contacted you, what they can do is they can give you an invitation to register you for the online exemplification.
Right.
And then they'll give you a date and the time, and you
Or
can
the
go watch it.
moment you fill in the form and submit it, you get it on demand, so you can get to watch the.
You can do that too,
exemplification.
but we'll still have to go through the process. But yes,
Yeah.
but so you can do it like almost immediately.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about a very long, drawn-out process, because
No.
we want to respect everyone's time. And after all, if people want to step up and become members and volunteer, we want to make it as streamlined as possible for them. So realistically, we're talking within 48 hours, 72 hours, that someone could be registered, have their degrees done, and witness the video and be an active member.
And the exemplification is 30 minutes now.
Like 30 minutes.
Yeah, so it's
Under 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you have a variety of these online exemplifications. For example, you have them sponsored by Spring or State, and as Brother David just mentioned, on demand. So if you cannot make one of these scheduled exemplifications because you're busy and that date and time doesn't work for you, you can register for on demand. So
time
whatever
that is suitable
for you.
to the members.
So they give you a link, and then you can watch it whenever you want to watch it.
Wonderful. Wow. So there's even greater flexibility of becoming a member,
Mhm.
which is something that didn't exist, say, about a year ago. Is that correct? I
Yeah.
think that's really, we've made a lot of advances in this area here. To what else? So how else can they join? Obviously, traditionally through face-to-face, once parishes come back online again, if that's the
God willing, it all happens.
God
soon.
willing, that all happens. But
and we can do our church drives.
And I guess to even maybe expand that a little more, we have councils at colleges and universities.
yeah.
So if you go to your local college and university, you can check and see if there's a council there. We have the Squires program in Ontario, which is for youth from 10 to 18.
Under the age
Under
of
the
18.
age of 9 to 18.
We call them Knights in Training.
Knights in training. Exactly.
Knights in waiting.
Knights in Waiting.
And as mentioned earlier, you have the fourth degree, which is a separate entity from the third degree. It's just one extra level, and that's more dealing with patriotism, honor guards, and special functions with regards to country.
Right. So actually, just since we're bantering here a little bit, just to recall, and you know the story when I was involved with my council, in order to, and I've always said, find an excuse to celebrate our flag and our national heritage, because we do live in a great country, and more importantly is to celebrate Flag Day. And something we did is we went to our local MPP, or local MP rather, and we asked for some flags and some pins.
And we can distribute it.
And we distributed not only in mass, but we also went to our local mall, which was nearby our parish. And it was in the dead of winter. It was really cold outside, but we still had lots of guys willing to sit back and enjoy a coffee together and interact with people and hand out Canadian flags and pins and recognizing the history of our flag. So
Beautiful.
again, so something that's very, very community-based, but also something very dear to our hearts, and that is country and faith and volunteerism as well. So something that's very inspirational. That program continues to live in my council today. So
And one of the things too with membership is you could commit to whatever time you can into the organization. Like if you can only commit like an hour a month, that's fine. You might do things within your parish that, you're an usher, you could minister. These are the things that we do as Knights. So you're already doing things.
yeah. It's intended to be the visible arm of the church.
Exactly.
What I ask members when I ask them to join or invite them to join is to give the Knights of Columbus one meeting per year, okay, or 1 hour of the time. After that, it's entirely up to them. What they desire to do is between them and the God.
Sure.
Okay, and what they are willing to put in, what in their own time, okay, what other programs they want to do. Okay, but that 1 hour is something that I ask for because when they come into a meeting, they see what the Knights are all about and what are the other activities, what are the different programs. And if they feel that they should participate in some of them, I always encourage them to put them as a chairman to run those programs because, that generates the interest. So they bring in their own friends, relatives.
And it brings the passion and it spreads and who we are. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Gentlemen, how can someone get more information on the Knights and how to join?
Well, very simple. You can go straight away to our Knights of Columbus website, kofc.org. Okay, that's our supreme website, which gives you all the information that is actually required for you to know what we are all about, what we do, the various programs that we participate in. So kofc.org, or our Canadian jurisdiction, which is Ontario Knights of Columbus.
Right.
Okay,
So you can just go online and search Ontario
So
Knights
it's
of Columbus.
OntarioKOFC.ca. Ontario KOFC.ca.
Or simply just ask a member of the Knights of Columbus that's in your parish or in your neighborhood. Might be even a friend of yours or family member. Just ask them what the Knights of Columbus are all about. And they'd be happy to give you that information.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, what final comments do you have or defining moments that you would like to share with our viewers? What do you want to leave them with?
From my end, all I ask is this is one of the best organizations that I've ever been part of or participated in. And I encourage everybody who's a Catholic gentleman, 18 years of age or above, to join the Knights of Columbus, to give it an opportunity to see what's in it for you, what you can give back as well. And in today, what I would like to ask everybody who views this is to join the Knights of Columbus if you haven't joined. It's as simple as getting on the internet and just signing into kofc.org and you join for free. You don't have to put up nothing, you don't lose nothing, and you become a member of the Knights of Columbus.
In fact, you gain everything.
You gain everything. You have the time and opportunity to decide what's in it for you, what you can give back to society, or what big part of the parish and community at large you can be as well.
And I would say that it's a family organization. So it's just not for, you as a man, Catholic man. It's also for your wife and your kids. They can also get involved because you'll find a number of our activities is our family activities. So, if you'd like to get your family involved in something and to meet great people, this is a great opportunity to do it.
I just think of a number of defining moments of being a knight. There's one in particular that at our parish on Good Friday we were venerating the cross, and the knights in our parish always helped those that to come forward and make sure that there was traffic control at the altar. And at one time, the knights, we were always first to come in and last to leave because that's the way Father had indicated for us. And there was one time where myself and another member, we were about to conclude, where we were about to bow, and there was a tap at my shoulder. And there was an older gentleman who was disabled, who shouldn't have been walking, but somehow made his way from the back of the church and walked all the way up on his own.
Mm.
And he had some difficulty with his speech as well, but he had tapped me again on the arm, and he motioned that he wanted to venerate the cross. So I looked over at the guy next to me, who was also another knight. We helped him, and then we, in essence, really, he knew he wouldn't be able to get back, so we helped him get back to his chair. And that touch of spirituality and that defining moment of seeing someone who was vulnerable, who had helped himself up to that point but needed that extra little bit of help, touched my heart and never leaves me.
Yeah.
It has impacted me forever. And to be able to see someone and to help someone is forever in my heart and keeps me grounded as a knight day in and day out. So hopefully those of you that are viewing this right now can be inspired by some of the stories. This is the first of many of the Ontario Knights Express podcast series. We will be producing a number of others, and we'll be publishing them as well to give you more insights and some more information about what we do and who we are. You've had a bit of an introduction here, but gentlemen, thank you so very much for giving your time. As always, we always are giving of our time, but thank you to inform those who would like to join and like to know a little bit more about us. So we're signing off now, and thank you very much. And those of you viewing us right now, you know how to reach us. Go on to kofc.org, or on the just simply search for us on the Ontario Knights of Columbus website, and you'll be able to find us. And we wait to hear from you, and we look forward to seeing you in one of our many programs. God bless.
God bless.
God bless.